And I want to welcome you all to this 5-part training series, Get the Guy You Want. Because I know everyone has been asking me, how do I attract the man that I really want? I get so many guys that are interested in me that I don't like, but how do I get the guy that I really want in my life? And so that's why I created this series, and that's what we're going to be focusing on throughout this training session. So here we go. I want to remind you all that these sessions are recorded. I also want to remind everyone that all of the property, the intellectual property here belongs to Camille Sheppard-Parrish, GetMrRight.com organization, or Get Mr. Right University organization, and Heart Speaks Publishing jointly. So just keep that in mind when you're sharing the information. Please make sure you get permission to share. And wherever else you share information, just make sure you credit me or my organization with the fact that you've gotten the information from my organization. In addition, anything shared on today's event or this training session may be used. We're offering this as a training for women that are part of our community today, but it may be used in the future as further promotion. So keep that in mind. And so we are on session number 2 of this 5-part series. And today we're going to focus on one of the things that I know you've been wondering about for so long, and that is how to determine if he's husband material, right? So that's what we're going to focus on today. Most of you know I'm Camille Sheppard-Parrish. If we're just meeting, I am the Healthy Love Coach. I'm known industry-wide as the Healthy Love Coach, and I help women create healthy relationships first with themselves and then with the man they love and others in their life, including their relatives, work co-workers, children, and so on. So we're just meeting for the first time. As a reminder, I'm the author of Successful Women Date Differently. I'm also the founder of Get Mr. Right University. And what we do is serve women all over the world, helping them to fulfill their desires to attract the love that they truly want to keep. Not just attract, but attract and keep the love that they desire with a high quality relationship ready man, right? So that's what we're going to focus on today. And I've been featured all over the place. And so you may find me in other media outlets. If you're researching articles or looking up information, you'll frequently find me on other platforms. And with the Get Mr. Right University, what we do is help women all over the world. I literally have women all over the world: Germany, Hawaii, California, Europe, Philippines, all over the world. We have women connecting into us for our weekly training programs, coming to our retreat, and just even as a one-on-one VIP client. And so these women, they have truly gone from feeling frustrated, hopeless, and just giving up on love to feeling very powerful and learning how to truly attract the right type of man for them. And they do this by first getting aligned with their core values and understanding what their purpose in life is. And once they do that, then we can take them to the next level of truly attracting the love that they deserve. And so my intention is no different for you today and for this series. I want to help you create the breakthrough that you need. I want you to understand what's blocking you from love so that you can remove those barriers and really attract the love that you need. So I'm hoping that this series will help you look at relationships a lot different. I'm hoping that you would take the information that you receive and do something with it and get into action. A lot of times we hear information. You know, we love to get information. We're infomaniacs, if you will. But a lot of times we don't do anything but store that information in our head. And I have to share with you, ladies, that's one of the biggest problems that we have, is that we store so much information in our head and we do nothing with it. But attracting your man, becoming successful in life and in love, all of that has to do with, all of that only occurs when you make the decision that you're going to get into action. So I'm going to encourage you to take control over your circumstances and then get yourself into action so that you can get into a healthy romantic relationship. And once you create the shifts in your life that are necessary, better known as doing your inner work, then that's what's ultimately going to lead to attracting the love that you deserve. So I appreciate you joining me today. Today's going to be a really short session. It's going to be short but powerful. It's going to be one of those big things in a small package, and I don't want to overwhelm you. So I want to keep it short in what I discuss, and I want to respect your time, especially since a lot of you are on your lunch time. So today what we're going to be talking about is how to determine if a man is husband material. Because I know we need to move past just wanting a boyfriend and accepting titles and living together with people for many years. We have to get to the point where we, really learn how to identify if a man is truly husband material. And that's where I'm going to be helping you do today. So I'm going to go over the 5 steps to determine if a man is truly husband material. So there's going to be certain behaviors and actions that men will take that's going to help you be able to tell if he's husband material. And that's what we're going to jump right in today. And I love to start at the top. I think the most important thing that a man should possess is a strong spiritual foundation. So whatever religion, whatever you believe, whatever way you worship, I do believe that you and your man need to be aligned. So oftentimes you might switch over to whatever his way of worship is, or he may switch over to your way of worship. But no matter how you choose to worship, this man should have a strong spiritual foundation with his Creator. If a man doesn't have a strong foundation with his Creator, and if he's not able to rely on God, then he's going to live and lead the relationship based on his own understandings and his own philosophies and based on his own childhood and what he knows to be true. And if he's had a father or a parent in his life that has been absent, or that has been abusive, or that has had multiple women and children outside, if he has no spiritual foundation, some type of guide and tool that shows him, demonstrates, indicates to him what's right and what's wrong, if he doesn't have that as a marker, he's going to just follow what he's been seeing. One of the trends that I notice is that in our society and in relationships, the men are just growing up to mimic their dad. And so if he did have a dad who was a cheater, like I said, an abuser, a liar, a thief, if he was in jail, a lot of times these kids can grow up with those same type of traits. But what I find is that young men that transition to wanting to have their spiritual needs met by learning more about their Creator, by perhaps studying God's Word. Some of them attend a place of worship. And things like that. If he's not doing those things to indicate that he has strong reverence and respect for his Creator, he's probably not relationship ready. And here's why. It's because most men, they're really groomed to enjoy their life, right? And part of enjoying their life is just, having fun with women. And unless they reach the stage of their life where they're ready to make that commitment, they won't. So men go through many stages of life. When they're young, they may, again, just be ready to play and enjoy life, when they're in their teenage years. Perhaps when they get into their early 20s, now they're ready to get, their serious education, get their career going. Maybe by the time they're really 30s, they might, if their financial situation is good, they might start leaning towards a serious relationship. But usually when a man is ready to get into a serious relationship, it's because he wants to do the right thing. And usually what guides men to do the right thing is having that spiritual relationship with their Creator. And I find when they don't have some type of connection, some type of at least acknowledgement that there is a Creator and there's something in this world bigger than him, if he doesn't have that, he could potentially not value the relationship and he might not take his commitment serious. So this is a really, I love starting with this because this gives us a foundation on what to look for if we're looking for a husband. So you want to make sure that he does rely on God. You want to make sure that he understands his role as a man and he's able to take the lead. If he understands that his role is to get into action and make things happen for the family, then maybe you won't have to worry about hustling so much, and being in your masculine energy. So it's very important that he knows his lane and he stays in it as the protector, the provider, of the household, the one who takes the lead, the one who really evaluate what decisions and direction the family needs to take, right? And it doesn't mean that the wife doesn't have a stake or say in those decisions, but it means that he understands that he has a heavy weight on his back and he is accountable to his creator. He's accountable to his family to make sure that he's doing the right things for his family. And a man can't do that unless he's reached that level. And usually he has to get past his play stage. He has to get his money correct. And he has to have a spiritual connection with God. And then he's able to really look at a woman and take her serious. Otherwise, you're going to keep hearing men say, I have to get my situation together. I'm still trying to grow my business. My money isn't right. I got to pull some things together. I'm still hustling and grinding. And you might hear him say these things because he's very serious. And that's also a huge warning sign for you that that guy that says those things is probably not ready for a committed and serious relationship. So any man that you get involved with, many people will say many things. But I'm going to encourage you to make sure that that man knows his lane and his where he needs to be, and that he puts his he puts his creator first, and he put his woman second, and then everything else comes after that, right? Now, a word of caution: if you do meet and marry a guy with kids, he's going to tell you God is first and his children are second. That type of thing happens when a man doesn't have children with you. So just make sure that in that relationship, you let him know that his kids are important, because you never want to get into a challenge between him and his kids, especially if they're not from you. You're going to lose. If they're from you, that's easy, because God first, you come, and then both of you have the kids as third place. So keep that in mind. Number 2, when you're in a relationship with a man who is husband material, you don't need to ask him to change. And you definitely don't need to ask him for a commitment. Because before you even get to the point where you're exclusive, monogamous, and committed, your man will reach the point that he'll recognize that he wants to settle down. He'll recognize that you are a woman with high qualities. He'll recognize that you are a woman that's wife material. And he'll be willing to make changes for you. You don't need to ask him to adjust himself. You don't need to ask him to get a better job or a better car or a better place to live or a bigger place to live to accommodate both of you. You don't need to ask your man to do that, because he will recognize those things and he will start to make the shift on his own. I remember when my husband and I were dating, he was just renting a room in a home, in a house from someone. He was just renting a room. It was just him as a single man. He didn't entertain anybody. He didn't need much, and he traveled a whole lot. So he just needed some place to come lay his head down when he was in town. And so because of that, he just rented a room. But what I remember, as soon as we started dating and we got serious, he got his own place. He got a bigger place. So he moved towards purchasing a home. I didn't have to ask him those things. He did those things on his own. He makes the changes because he knows that he's ready to settle down and that he prioritizes you. He knows that you're a priority for him. And he makes whatever sacrifice he needs to make to ensure the happiness, your happiness, and the happiness and security of the relationship. So if you have to tell a guy, hey, he might live at his mother's house or roommate with a friend, but if you're dating for 6, 9, 12 months, and this guy's not making any plans to make any shifts in his life, and he's just renewing his lease at these people's current place of residence, then you probably know that he's not really that serious about you. And his behavior should also reflect that he wants to settle down. That means that you will never go on an online dating app And how would you know unless you're on there too, right? So we got to say it goes both ways. Neither one of you would be on online dating apps anymore looking for your next while you're with each other. So if your guy is still swiping left, swiping right on these dating apps and logging in, and you see that he's on there constantly, then realize that he's not serious. He's still looking. And don't get offended. So many women get offended. It's okay to still look. Just because you're a good woman, it doesn't mean that you're the woman for him. So don't take that personal. Just take that as factual. And then you need to keep it moving. Okay. If a man is serious about you, he won't split his time or make excuses or disappear. As a matter of fact, he will work very hard to protect his relationship and his future with you. So whatever he needs to do that, he will do that. Okay, he would also adopt a healthier lifestyle and learn how to be more in more contact with you. So he'll give you more frequent calls. He might text you more. He might want to hang out more. He might want to see you instead of just on Friday or Saturday night. I know when I was dating my husband, he wanted to see me multiple times a week. So we might have gone out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We might have gone out on a Tuesday night as well. So we went out just whenever. We didn't just stick to Friday and Saturday. And when a man is only into you and he wants to be serious with you, he'll want to be with you more and more. Because remember, the eventuality is marriage. So when a guy tells you that, you know, he doesn't have time, his work schedule doesn't permit, he got a lot of things going on, well, what would he do if he was married to you? So keep that in mind. So that's number 2. You don't need to beg or to beat him down and beg him to make changes for you or commit to you. Number 3, this is a huge one. If I can drill this into your head, ladies, your man, if he was serious about being with you, if he was husband material, and if you are the one that he's considering as a wife, he will not hide you from his friends and from his family. He will want them to know who you are because he would love who you are. He would be so proud and happy of you, your talents, your authenticity, your quirky smile, your snorty laugh, the way you eat, the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk. You might think, oh my gosh, I can't believe he loves my hair like this, but he would love you, right, for who you are. And he would never make excuses for you or apologize for who you are. He would just be very proud to have you as part of his life. Okay. He will laugh at your crazy little silly jokes and nobody else will laugh. I know I think I'm funny sometimes and I'm not, but my husband sometimes laughs when he gets them. He laughs at my joke and he's not embarrassed. And you won't be embarrassed about him either and his jokes. You know, if you have respect and love and compassion for him, you won't have those things, right? So the other thing to realize is that your man won't try to hide from you, won't try to hide you, right? A lot of times people are in relationships for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, a year, 2 years, and they never have met his parents or his friends or been to his place of employment. And that's a huge indication that he's really not serious about you. So please recognize that when he's not bringing you around, you know, they're having a family gathering and it was just for family. Well, that's an indication that he's not planning a future with you, right? Because your man will bring up conversations about you, brag about you to his family and friends. He'll be trying to connect you, get you to meet up with them when they're going out to dinner, going out to parties. He will be so proud and excited to be around you. And the other thing is that if he is wanting to build a future with you and he has a nice group of friends and he's connected, his friends are probably pretty important to him. They've probably been friends for many, many years. And so he will want to make sure that his friends like you and you like his friend because he will still want to get together and have dinner at each other's house and have a great time. And he will want to make sure that you all can get along and be friendly. You see, and he wants his friends to get to know you. So he wouldn't be hiding you from his friends, right? He'll want his friends to get to know you. I think in my in the book, I think it's chapter 2, Successful Women Date Differently, Secrets to Attracting the Love That You Deserve. I write about, I think it's chapter 2, where I write about picking out a good man. And I go through some characteristics in picking a man out. So you may want to look at that chapter and see some of the characteristics and qualities of what I call a rich man. Any man that you'll be interested in, he'll also be open about you on social media. So he won't have to hide or block you. He'll be willing to put up a picture. You don't have to say, hey, did you post that picture? No, if this guy is really interested in you. Now, this might not happen in the first 2 weeks or a month or so, but if the guy is sincerely interested in you after a few weeks, and there is a such thing as love at first sight, if he knows that you are the woman he wants immediately, whenever he's made that decision in his head, he'll be willing to like your pictures, comment on your pictures, share your pictures, and even put up a profile picture of you and him on social media. You might have to say, hey, I saw you post that picture. Why did you post that picture? And he might say, I love that picture. And you might even be a little bit embarrassed about that picture. Maybe that's not the picture you wanted him to post. But whenever it comes up time for celebrations or anniversaries, he'll probably post that on your page. I'm so proud to have a woman like you in my life. I love you. Happy anniversary, honey. So he won't be shy about posting those type of things on social media. Okay. He will definitely be open with the world about you, about how he feels about you. So that's very contrary to a lot of the men that I know you women are meeting. You're meeting men that are hiding you, taking you home just to your house or his house. He never really takes you out in public. You can't even find him on social media because, as a matter of fact, guess what? He tells you, I'm not really into social media. Too much drama. I don't even have an account. So you don't even go looking for him because, he makes you feel that he doesn't have an account, or maybe he doesn't have an account because he's a player. The bottom line is that if a man is really into you, he would be fully committed to you, and he would be comfortable with his sexuality enough to stop playing and fooling around. Right? And he'll be ready to settle down with just you. He'll be open on social media. He'll be open with you. He'll be comfortable with himself. He won't hide. He won't do any of those things. So that's number 3. Number 4 is that he will not rush you into sex, ladies. A lot of women are under the notion that men won't get into a relationship with you unless they can immediately have sex with you. And as a result, I'm hearing that some of the statistics are now saying that women are having sex with men after the first, second, or third date. The average time to wait is maybe 2.5 dates to have sex. I'm going to tell you that that's really bad. That's bad for a couple of reasons. And the first one that comes to my mind is that man is looking, if he's looking for a wife, and you're rushing to have sex, what men think is that if you have sex with them on the first, second, or third date, you must do this with every man you go out, your first, second, or third date, which brings you to why he asks you, how many men have you been out with recently? Because he wants to know, how often do you do this? Do you have a disease? Are you loose? And now he thinks that you're not wife material. And so be very careful about rushing to have sex with a man without commitment, without being exclusive, and without marriage, because he's looking at a wife, and he's looking at you as your actions and your behavior as if you do that with every guy, not that you think that he's special. The other thing is, if a man is interested in you and he truly wants to marry and commit you, he doesn't need to rush because he knows that he's going to have you in his life for the rest of his life. If he's planning on marrying you in 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, he knows that. And he's not in a rush to have sex with you because he knows he's going to have you for the rest of his life. So he don't need to rush. He's not a little boy that doesn't have any self-control, who needs to just rush to sex. See, if you're with a grown man, those type of things won't be going on. He'll have some self-control. Now, it doesn't mean that he doesn't have sexual needs. And it doesn't mean that he's not going to ask. And it doesn't mean that he's not going to want to be with you because his initial attraction to you was probably sexual. But what it does mean is that if a man is truly interested in you, he'll have enough self-control to wait for you. And he won't make the dating process and the marriage process so long where waiting is unbearable. Number 5, ladies, you becomes we. So now when he speaks about us together. We become we, right? We become we in a relationship. And so when he thinks about you, he thinks about buying a future home together. He sees you in his future. He thinks about building the future with you. He thinks about where we're going to move, how many children we're going to have. You know, he'll tell you stories about when he was a little kid. He remembered when he dreamt about having 5 kids, right? He will do that. He will make that kind of connection to you. When he sees families and other people and healthy relationships around him, he might even smile, and he might even think that someday that'll be us, right? So if he's ready to settle down, he's indicating to you that you're already part of his dream, right? He's not hiding from you, breadcrumbing you, disappearing from you, avoiding conversation with you, and he's not giving you generic answers. He's telling you how he truly feels inside, and how he feels will come across sincere because he's talking about the future with you. He might talk again about where you're living, what kind of house. He might start to ask you about where do you like to live? Have you ever thought about settling down? Where did you think about settling down at? Have you ever thought about how many children? If he has a child, he might ask you, how do you feel about my child being there at the home with us? He will ask you questions like that because now you become we, right? He might ask you other questions about vacation and planning. So he might ask you a lot of questions. So that's how you'll know that the relationship is shifting and that this guy is really serious about you, and that he's probably husband material because he has a husband mentality. And so those are the type of men you're looking for. If you're with a guy that doesn't have a husband mentality, he's probably not ready for a relationship. He's probably not ready to be in a relationship yet. He's probably not ready to be committed yet. He's probably still has a lot of fun and game and play inside of him that he wants to go take care of. Again, as we talked about, he might not have his money together. He might have something going on in his life that he's too embarrassed to share, maybe because of an ex-wife or the children, or maybe his money with his job is just not right. So you never know what's going on with him. So he may appear to be a great man, and you might be a little confused about what's going on. But if a guy says he's not ready for marriage, take him at his word. You know, move on. A lot of us feel that we're going to just wait it out. But what happens is that when he becomes ready for marriage, you're still not the woman that he's waiting for, or that he wants, because he didn't ask you to wait for him. See, he's a grown man. He could say, can you wait until I can pull myself together? I'm going to need 6 months or a year to get myself together. That's a different conversation than, I'm not ready for marriage right now. I'm not ready to settle down. I'm not looking for a wife. I'm just looking to hang out and have a partner or buddy to hook up with, to go to the movies and hang out and chill on the weekend. See, pay attention to the conversations and don't try to change his words to mean what you want them to mean. Listen to what he's saying, pay attention to his words, and respond accordingly, right? You will find love. You will get the guy that you want, but not chasing the guy that doesn't want you. So that's the end of today's session, ladies. Very short and sweet and powerful. I want to thank you for joining. I respect the fact that so many women join in for listening in during their lunch break during the week. I love that. Thank you so much. So many women asked about the retreat yesterday. I wanted to just pop up the banner for that. So this is the banner for the Love Rejuvenation Retreat. It is October 4th through the 8th. So I got quite a few emails yesterday about that. The retreat is happening in Virginia Beach, Virginia. The retreat is pretty much all inclusive. We do have a general admission rate for $697. That covers your attendance for the retreat. and your materials for the retreat. We also have a VIP admission for the retreat, which is $9.97, and you can make payment plans. So we do have payment plans, and also you can finance your retreat fee, but that's $997, and that includes all of your meals. So of course, I think that that's the best way to go, because your breakfast and your lunch are included. Your activities are included at the adventure park, your zip lining, your spa treatment. We have someone coming in with the yoni balls. We have someone coming in with pole dancing, someone coming in for the boudoir pictures. We'll have a lot of networking activities. We'll be doing some meditation. We have a mindset coach coming in. We have just a ton of stuff that's going to be going on at the retreat. Also, you're going to get access to the rooftop dance club, Catch 31, there at Catch 31. I think it's called the Sky Bar, where there are a lot of eligible bachelors and well-to-do bachelors here in Virginia Beach. And so that's pretty much what's included. Your hotel is not included, but the hotel rates that we've negotiated are super low. They're $159 per night. That's where they start, and they go up from there. If you are bringing a roommate, you can split that. You can share that. Last year, they didn't let us do that. This year, you can share that rate. So it will come down to approximately $80 a night for the room. And if you want to have more women in the room with you, that's up to you. But you all can figure that out. And I'm going to tell you that this is a retreat you definitely don't want to miss. Last year, we had so many shifts. The women that came, I can tell you, they're all dating. They're all dating and in relationships. And the ones that are not, they have broken through whatever they needed to do to break through and identify their love blocks and make a breakthrough and shift their mindset so that they can attract the love that they deserve. And so some of those ladies are just enjoying their me time right now before they get into a relationship. So it's not an event you want to miss. I guarantee you're going to have a blast. We only have about 8 seats left, I think. I know someone registered over the weekend, so I have to go back and do a count. So please, if you're interested in registering, I think you've gotten a link in your email to click on that and set up some time with me to see if you qualify for the retreat, and to let me know if you're coming alone or if you're bringing a guest. Keep in mind, I want you all to play full out. Those who are playing full out, what I'm going to be offering is that at the VIP level, if you want to buy your ticket and bring your girlfriend at 50% off, you're more than welcome to do that. But please make sure you participate. Let me know how you're making changes, how this program is helping you, and post in our group, because that's where I'm going to be looking for your answers, through the group and through the emails that I'm getting. And I will pick up to 3 people that they could bring a guest for half price off. So you all will be responsible for your hotel, but as far as the amenities and the retreat amenities, those will be included. She will get the same thing that you get. So it's a wonderful way to bring a friend, get away to a beautiful place. We're going to be on the beach in Virginia Beach, Virginia, at the Hilton Hotel, where you walk right outside and you're on the beach. It's still very hot here in Virginia Beach in October, and we're just going to have an awesome time. I'm going to encourage you to try to get a balcony oceanfront room so you can wake up every morning and look directly at the ocean. All right, and I want to remind you that 5 women every day, so that's going to be a total of 25 women this week. You can schedule your session with me to see if we can help you identify what's blocking you for love, and then I can help you understand what your next steps are in working with me and getting the support you need so you can move forward and get the guy that you want. So I'm going to open up the line briefly for Q&A today. I'm going to keep it short because I know it's lunchtime, and but I'm going to open up the line for any questions, or you all can unmute yourselves and let me know if you have any questions about the session, tell me how you enjoyed the session and if this was helpful, and tell me, if you don't mind, how yesterday's session benefited you. And I'm going to give you a warning. I can only take 1 or 2 questions, and I do have a hard cutoff time at about 1:45. So we only have about 6 or 7 minutes. Quiet bunch today, huh? Okay, you should be unmuted now. Let me try again.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. First, a quick question about the retreat. To purchase the rooms or to reserve the rooms, is there a link on the retreat website to get the 159, or where we go to purchase that at that rate?
Good question. So Sonia, everyone who registers for the retreat, they will get an email with the link, and I will be sending an email out this week, or have my assistant Amy get those out to you this week.
Okay.
To the website. I might even post it so that everyone in the class could at least get it with our class tonight. I'll give you the link to book your hotels. Yes, you want to definitely book it with the link that I give you. It is a special website that's already set up with our block of rooms, and all you have to do is put your credit card in. I don't even know that you have to put, I want to encourage you to put one night's deposit, but I think you just need a credit card to hold your room. But be prepared if they ask you for one night's deposit. And I'll get that out to everyone.
Okay. And also another quick one. I don't know if the other lady had a question, but if a guy is asking about sex, and we're just, at this point we're not ready, we don't know him well enough, do we have to give him a reason why, or just say, hey, I'm not ready for that at this point?
So give me an idea of what he's saying.
Maybe just, having, sexual conversations. Because I don't think guys really come out and, ask like, hey, can we have sex tonight? I hadn't had it like that, but just kind of, having those sexual conversations, or saying, I bet me and you are going to be good together, in the bedroom, or just kind of making those references to me and him having, sex. Should I, just nod my head and not, say anything, or say, hey, I'm sure in the future, but I'm not ready for this right now?
So actually, that is a very good response. The last thing that you said, but you want to make sure you say it compassionately. And if you're really interested in the guy and you're not ready because you just met him, and you know that most guys are rushing within the first couple of weeks, you do want to make the guy feel that you find him attractive. Because if you make him feel that he has no hope of having sex with you, he's not going to be interested in you. So I don't want to make men seem shallow, but you got to understand that if a man is interested and attracted to you, the first thing he's attracted to, and the first thing that he imagines, is him making love to you. And so if he doesn't have any hope, or any, he feels like he's going to be successful in making love to you, he's going to move on. So know that. So you need to make sure he understands that, yes, I'm interested in you. So I'm going to just take what you just said and reshape it a little bit. Hey, Paul, I'm excited about making love to you also, when that time comes. I don't think we're quite there yet, but when I'm ready, I will definitely let you know, because I'm excited about that as well. So you want to make sure that he knows that you're interested in having love. And of course, use your own words. Because if he thinks, oh no, if you have this attitude, I'm not making love to you, and oh my God, don't ask me again, you're so nasty. If you come off across like that, you're going to lose him. Because sex is not nasty. And if you think sex is nasty, you definitely need to be setting up a session with me and trying to come out to the retreat, or registering for one of my programs. And I can even refer you to one of my colleagues that could potentially help you if you have some really bad issues regarding your sexual desires because of whatever's happened to you in the past. So the point is that you want to make him feel like you're interested. You want to make him feel like, wow, this is going to be great. You're absolutely right. And you're excited about it too.
Okay.
So you always make him feel like you're flattered, you're excited, you know, you feel the attraction to, you're interested, you can't wait either.
Okay.
Hopefully that helps.
That does.
Any other questions? Any other questions, ladies? All right, like I said, I'm going to keep it short and simple tonight. This afternoon, I don't want to spend a lot of your time. I know a lot of you are on your lunch time and need to get back. And so if there are no more questions, I'm going to check the chat room to see if you have any questions. Okay, I don't see any more questions in the chat room. And so I am going to wish you all a great day. The replay will be posted shortly along with your worksheet. Please make sure you do your worksheet from yesterday. The series is accumulative and each session builds on the next session. So please make sure you go back and you do your worksheet. I wish you all love and I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye everyone. Take care. Thanks for joining.